Okay, good evening. Today I'm gonna study the science of biology, 10th edition. Alright, chapter 37, regulation of plant growth. How does plant develop proceed? What does the gabberellins and the auxin do? What are the effects of cytokinin, ethylene, and brasinosteroids? How do photoreceptors participate in plant growth regulation? Agricultural scientists are constantly searching for ways to help farmers produce more food for a growing population. One way is to bred crop plants whose psychology allows them to produce more grain per plant, resulting in higher yields. The drawback of this approach is that the sheer weight of the load of seeds may cause the stem to bend over. The problem is made worse when the fertilizer makes the plants grow trailer. Alright, I have to check these. When fertilizer makes the plants grow, harvesting seeds on the ground is very difficult. Think of how hard it would be to pick up seeds one by one, when some have already sprouted. During World War II, the island nation of Japan was blockaded and couldn't import food or other supplies. Food was ration, and many people were hungry, but there were no major famines in Japan during that period. How were the Japanese able to produce enough grain to feed their population? Yeah, this is one answer to this question lay in the fields. The Japanese had to bred the genetic strains of rice and wheat with short, strong stems that could bear high yields of grain without bending over. An agricultural advisor to the occupying American army sent samples of the grains to the U.S. A decade later, the American plant geneticist Norman Borlaug, who was working in Mexico at the time, began making genetic crosses between the Japanese wheat and other varieties that has genes conferring rapid growth, adaptability to varying climates, and resistance to fungal disease. The results were semi-dwarf wheat varieties that gave record yields. The varieties were grown fast in Mexico and later in Pakistan during the 1960s. At about the same time, and using a similar strategy, scientists in the Philippines developed semi-dwarf rice with equally spectacular results. People who had lived on the edge of starvation now produced produced enough food. Countries that had relied on foods from other countries were now able to grow more than enough grain and export the surplus. The development of these semi-dwarf grains began that what was called the Green Revolution. Borag was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for this research on wheat, which is estimated to have saved a billion lives. Without plant development does proceed, as described in chapter 34. Plants are sessile organisms that must seek out the resources above and below the ground. A number of unique features enable plants to obtain the resources they need to grow and reproduce. Meristem plants have permanent corrections of stem cells and differentiated constantly, dividing cells that allows them to continue growing throughout their lifetimes. See section 34.3. Post-embryonic organ formation. Unlike animals, plants can initiate development of new organs such as leaves and flowers throughout their lifetimes. Differential growth. Plants can allocate their resources so that they grow more of the organs that will benefit them most. For example, more leaves to harvest more sunlight, or more roots to obtain more water and nutrients. Plants must continuously monitor their ever-changing environments and redirect their growth appropriately. For example, the amount of available light changes from day to night and from season to season. In addition, other plants are often vying for what light there is, and plants modulate their growth to compete with their neighbors for this precious resource. As you will see in this chapter, several mechanisms have evolved in plants that enable them to sense changes in their environments and trigger appropriate growth responses. The development of a plant, the series of progressive changes that take place throughout its life, is regulated in many ways. Key factors involved in regulating plant growth and the development are environmental cues such as day length, availability, and the various chemicals in the environment. Receptors they allow a plant to sense the environment cues, such as photoreceptors they absorb light, and chemoreceptors that signal the response, a presence of pathogens. Hormones, chemical signals that mediate the effects of the environmental cues, including those sensed by receptors, regulatory proteins, and enzymes that catalyze the biochemical reactions of development. We will explore these regulatory mechanisms in more detail in this chapter, but first let's look at the initial steps of a brand development, from seed to seeding, and the type of internal and external cues that guide them. In early development, the seed germinates and forms a growing seedling. Chapter 38 will describe the events of plant reproduction and the development that lead to the formation of seeds. Here we begin with the seeds, the structure that contains the embryo. Unlike most animal embryo, plant seeds may be held in suspended animation with the development of the embryo halted for longer periods if development steps, even when external conditions such as water supply are adequate for development. The seed is said to be dormant. Dormancy. Seed dormancy may last for weeks, months, or years. Plants use several mechanisms to maintain dormancy: exclusion of water or oxygen from the embryo by an embryo, impermeable sealant, mechanical restraint of the embryo by a tough seed coat, chemical inhibition of germination by growth regulators, photomancy. Some seeds need a period of light or dark before they can germinate. Thermodormancy. Some seeds need high or low temperature to germinate. Dormancy can be broken by factors that overcome these mechanisms. For example, the seed coat may be damaged by passage throughout an animal's digestive system, or heavy rains may wash away chemical inhibitors. There are many unusual methods to overcome dormancy. One interesting example is the breaking of dormancy by components of smoke and